Well, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Dynamic Billiard Lasko Open, last 32 single elimination. And we have the battle of the Titans here. Germany's Kaiser Ralf Souquet, multiple European world champion, against another multiple European world champion in the Dutch Terminator, Niels Feijen. And I have got a double world champion here in the commentary box with me. Triple. He's just putting me there. Thorsten Hohmann from Germany.
Hi,
Welcome,
David.
Thorsten.
Thank you. Don't play my success down, okay?
I was on about the 9-ball, Thorsten. I mean, you're one of the very few players to ever win the 9-ball title twice.
Yes.
There's not many, is there?
I didn't really reflect my game today.
But it's tough out there.
It is. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm happy to be back in Europe and playing the Eurotour. It's the toughest competition.
And here we have two of the toughest players in the world going head to head. Ralf Souquet breaking off. Wow, making 3 balls off the break. He's got a shot on the 2. We've seen a lot of people struggling with the break shot here on the main table. I heard it's pretty similar all around the arena. Have you found that the same, Thorsten?
Yeah, I mean, my match earlier against Francisco was a disaster on the TV table. Ralf and I have been playing the same time, so I didn't really get a chance to watch him, but I think he's been playing well. You must have watched his earlier match here.
Yeah. He's been playing very solid. Few issues with a break, but he sorted it out quickly, where his opponents haven't, and that's the difference.
Yeah, and he had a tough match to make it into the last 32 against Sanjin, which he came out on top. Got this ball a little bit full. The good thing here is all he needs to focus on is, can he avoid the...
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Very, very close. He's going to be hitting that knuckle if he goes for it.
Oh, beautiful shot here.
Well controlled.
I was going to say, you can just focus on making the ball low left and it's naturally going to come down for the 5. It's a little close with the edge of that side pocket.
That could have quite easily dropped in the center pocket there. So Ralf doing very well to stay on the table. Oh, ended up a little bit too close to the 6 there.
And one element that makes it even trickier here is the shot clock. You know, if you have time, you know, you can think and figure out what's a good safety here, but with the clock ticking in only, 25 seconds?
Yeah.
You have to make a decision quickly.
Yeah, after 25 seconds, the referee is calling time. So you know you have 10 seconds to execute the shot. Otherwise it's a time foul. Ralf playing a very, very good safety. He was looking to come 2 rails here. Side rail, top rail. Get behind that 6.
It's always frustrating for the player who has an open table. You know, he made a good shot to land on the 5 and then he didn't get out. Yes, he finished with a safety, but you're supposed to run this rack.
So that sort of plays on your mind. And Niels has returned with a tremendous safety. Kicking 2 rails.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect.
But yeah, it must be disheartening when, you know, you've made a good break, balls are reasonably spread, but then you sort of mess it up and give your opponent a chance.
I really think it's not really, you don't have to come with the hero shots to win a match, but you have to avoid unforced errors, and when you have an opportunity, you're supposed to run out. That's what the top players do, you know, and if you don't, that hurts.
Yeah.
And another great kick shot from Ralf.
It's a good safety again.
It was a very low percentage kick, but hit absolutely perfect again.
He played a similar shot earlier in the day, coming from behind there. A lot of English on the cue ball, and cue ball scratching in the bottom pocket. There, he played it better. I think that.
Yeah, it was
that's
dangerous.
A little bit short.
He played cue ball only. I think if he would have paid attention to the 6 a little bit more, to bring it down towards the maybe past the 9, at least, you know, he wouldn't have given an easy shot for Ralf. But trying to control the cue ball perfectly behind the 8, that was a bit risky.
I think he was trying to control both balls at the same time there, which possibly wasn't the best option. Control one of them, you have more chance of achieving your objective. And Ralf, great chance here. Get first point on the board, 8 and 9 remaining on the table.
It's been a long day in Lasko. It's at almost 10 o'clock at night. We started. When was the first round, David?
9 o'clock
9
this
in the
morning. It is a long day for everybody here, and if you're continuing in the tournament, it can be a tough one. Especially on day 2, as Ralf takes a 1-0 lead over Niels Feijen. Day 2 can mean that you're playing 5 matches during the day. That's a 7.5 hour marathon of pool, and you've got to be on top of your game, because the more you progress, the harder the matches get.
That's a nice shot of the venue.
Yeah.
We'll be here for a while.
Yes, we have the European Championships starting on Wednesday. More players arriving Tuesday. Of course, we finish here tomorrow with the women's semi-finals and finals, followed by the men's semis and finals starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon local time. All of those matches you'll be able to see live on tv.kozoom.com. And if you're in those countries where we're broadcasting live, you'll have your own language as commentary. Here we have Niels Feijen breaking off in rack 2. Just about made it, 2 balls off the break. The 2 ball ventured into the kitchen. The 2 ball is the one he's going for next.
Niels chose to break from the left side. I was talking to Ralf earlier before my match, because he had the match before me on the TV table. Asked him, so which side did he break from? He said from the right, which is not really my cup of tea. I like to break from the left.
And how did you find that then? Was Ralph's?
Well, it didn't really make a difference.
Yeah,
for
I mean, when I saw your break, you were struggling in there, but it can be tough if you're trying everything. We had Matikainen in here against Ralf actually, and he tried left, right, and in the end he tried centre. Nothing worked. He had 7 breaks, 5 of them dry or illegal. You know, nothing worked for the young kid. It's a good shot from Niels Feijen on the 2.
Looks really routine from here. Looks like a drill. Can he run out without having the cue ball touch the rail?
Yeah, this could be. And that is a good practice shot, or practice drill actually. Set up a few of the balls around there. You're not allowed to touch the cushion. Gives you a little bit of a feel how to control that cue ball. And look, Niels is doing exactly that.
And for some of you watching, Niels has a beautiful YouTube page that he's been developing, and I must say I watched all his videos. They're very informative, very interesting even for me.
Niels
So you
Feijen,
should go and check that
1-1.
out.
That's his YouTube channel. I heard about that. Got some good drills on there.
I think he calls it Terminator College or Terminator Tips.
Okay,
Should definitely check that out.
there you go. You want to learn how to play like a pro, you got to follow him. We're actually in the presence of three of probably the greatest players to play 9-ball. Thorsten Hohmann in the commentary box and these two down there in the arena.
Let me ask you something, because you know, I was absent for almost 10 years playing the Eurotour. When I came back, and I asked her, "What's the rule on the break? Who's gonna rack? What's the official rule?"
Okay, the official rule for racking is that it should be random rack for the balls, and if the players agree to rack for each other or rack for themselves, we have no problem with that. But if you cannot agree, then you must rack for each other.
So that's the rule then.
Yes.
Okay.
So you rack for each other basically, but if the players agree to rack for themselves, we have no problem. It's very hard. You can't manipulate the rack anymore because it's tapped. They're all going to be frozen. You know, where in the past you were racking with triangles, we had a lot of rumors about, you know, this ball, that ball there and everything. But with tapping, we have not had that issue anymore. Ralf making a ball off the break. Has a shot on the one. Not the best position because he's got to get over for the 2.
Yeah, I think if he can just pot the 1, he will get position. It looks tough, but and I think he will be aggressive. Just needs to come around the 3. Even with outside English, I think he'll be able to get there.
Not quite enough.
A little soft.
He can bank the 2 if he wants to be aggressive. As long as he doesn't collide too much with a 7-ball, he should be on the 3. I don't think Ralf is into that. He's looking for a safe, stick the cue ball behind the 3. No, I think he could be all right there. I think he's got the snooker, albeit a relatively easy one for Niels to get out of.
Do we have any updates on the matches outside? I saw there were some interesting matches going on.
Let's try. See if we can get some info. Niels making a very good kick at that. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Perfect. That's how to get out of a snooker and put your opponent into one.
Should be a favor to hit it.
Unfortunate to get the double kiss. Just looking around the other scores there. All matches still early days, but a couple of noticeable ones. Serbia's Alexa Bechley is 4-2 up against Switzerland's Ronald Regli. And Albania's Besar Spahul is all square with Germany's Joshua Filler, 2-2. So, fellow countryman over there. A lot of Spanish in there. 4.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I was put out by 2 of them.
I mean, they got some good ones here. Al-Qaeda, Diaz, Sanchez. I mean, take your pick.
I play a little chess online, and earlier I opened my app and I start a game, and my opponent was Spanish, and I thought, oh, that might be an omen for my game, and I lost it. That wasn't a...
Oh. So losing to the Spanish at chess
3
and
times.
a Paul. Well controlled to miss that 9.
Yeah, routine here for Niels.
This 9 ball for a 2-1 lead and a steal off of Ralph's break. 2-1, the Dutchman, Niels Feijen. Niels breaking next. So keep hold of your break, win your break, and that's the important thing.
Lots of tournaments for us this year, David. Between the Eurotour, the Metrum events, Predator has been expanding their tour.
Yeah, it's good. Good for the players, huh?
Excellent. What do you think of Race to 4?
Personally, I think it's a bit of a lottery. But yeah, what are you looking for, when you're playing a Race to 4? Is it excitement? Is it surprises? Or do you want to see 2 of the best players going head-to-head in a real battle?
I think the statistics show that in 2 races to 4, the same players still come out on top. But it might be just more interesting for the spectators. Every missed shot could be the end of the game. You're at the edge of your seat right from the start.
Yeah.
It's all about creating more, getting new people into pool, and it's hard to make them watch these long races. Good for us players, obviously, and for already active players, but we need to get new people into the sport. I guess that's the philosophy behind it. Just curious how somebody like you likes the idea.
I mean, personally, I have no problem with
Don't you want to grow
races.
the sport?
I do. Been trying for many years, but we're on the right track now, going with a live TV. But when we've spoke with the players over the years on the Eurotour, and many a times, it's the short races they don't want. It's funny actually, because we set up a table in Villingen in, I think it was 2010, and we set up the table with 10.5 centimeter pockets, and all the pros, including many of them that are here today, said that we ain't playing snooker on a pool table. These pockets are a joke. And that was back then, but now everyone's calling for them. So it's a bit strange to hear that. And when you think that the tour is built up on many mediocre players, average players, they want to test their ability against you guys. But if you put, pinholes on the table, they ain't going to stand a chance, and they're not going to come.
I personally don't like snooker type pockets, because we are not snooker, we are pool, and it just fundamentally changes the game when you make the pocket so tight that it just becomes simple. You avoid the spin, you play more safe, everything's very linear. But we're pool, we want to manipulate the cue ball. So my opinion, I wouldn't get them too tight.
Yeah.
And you've been doing commentary on so many matches. What's the percentage on break and runs? It's not like we're running out every single game.
Nope. Not at
It's
all.
a very, very small percentage. So we don't have to make the game tougher by decreasing the pocket size, in my opinion.
The thing is, obviously, with the players as well, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but generally the pockets are too big when you've just lost. They're never too big when you've just won. You know, so if you take all of that into the equation, you have to take sometimes with a pinch of salt, and just let the player have their rant, you know, and let them get over it, because it's not very often that you will find a player that says, I played absolutely terrible today, nothing wrong with the equipment, it was my fault.
Here, I did.
Okay, we have the first honest joke.
I don't think I'm the first.
No, but you know what I mean. As a general rule, there's never your fault when you lose. I don't mean you as a person, but as a player.
It wasn't my fault. But it wasn't the table. No. No, I always have my personal opinion, and then I think, you know, what's good for the sport, and it might not be the same thing. But back to the game.
Yeah.
I think Ralph's just gonna try and get back to the center of the table here.
There's a big gap there, so you can, between the 7 and 8, and just takes the 4 to the corner, pulls it off the side rail.
It's also nice to see Ralph using the glove. Most of his life he avoided it, and just recently, maybe not even a year ago, he started playing with the glove. Once you get used to it, you just can't go back.
It's amazing how the little irritations, you know, when you're cueing over your hand and you get a little bit of stickiness, and it really does your head in when you're concentrating. So having a glove, that's one of the little niggles that you eliminate from your game.
I also want to tell you a funny little story. We were playing our tournament in the States a few months ago. What was it? I think it was in Arizona. Ralph Hughes didn't make it in time, so he didn't have a cue to play. So I offered him, well, you want to try mine? So he used my cue, which had a vantage shaft, a modified vantage, a little thinner than the original, and he won his first 2 matches, beating Mario Hay on the way as well. And then his cue came, and he lost his first set. And if you watch closely, Ralph is now using a vantage shaft. He just got a new shaft 2 days before this tournament.
Oh, wow. 2 days before he got the shaft.
Yep.
So he didn't get a lot of chance to practice with it before.
When his cues arrived, I said, Ralph, you still want to keep using my cue? And he said, don't tempt me, don't tempt me.
Well,
Equals the game.
He squared the match up here, 2-2. Ralph back in the driving seat.
The only good news for me is, you know, we're getting out of here by like 11 o'clock, getting close to midnight, and I don't have to get up at 9 a.m. to play.
Well, there you go.
Actually, like 7:30.
But I bet you wish you were.
Yes, of course. That's why I came. Very frustrating. I'm really motivated, you know, and pumped to play, and then you underperform. It got me really upset, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I felt great, and I wasn't nervous at all, or didn't feel the pressure. I really wanted to play, and then just nothing came together.
That is one of the things. Everything has to be in place for you to progress in any sport. I mean, you need the luck, you need good vibes. Ralph breaking well here.
Got a little bit of a hop there on the break.
Yeah. Made a couple of balls off the break. He's got a shot on the one. A lot of distance shouldn't be an issue. Doesn't really need to do too much with the cue ball either. It's 2 ball out in the open.
Yeah, the only choice he had to make. Do I want to put in a little bit of inside to land straight on the 2, or do I just roll it in, which, you know, increases the chances of making the ball, but it means he has to come with a follow-up. Good shot. When you're confident, you put a little inside on the ball and make sure you get straight on the 2. But that's one of the challenges, is always knowing your own percentages and making the right decisions based on your confidence. And it seems like Ralf made the right choice.
I think it is, you know, when you're playing well, the shots become easier, you know, but when you're struggling, you're having a few issues, some of these shots that you would make every day of the week, you tend to avoid them, you know, because of your confidence. It's not working for you or something. And you'll play a safety where normally you'll take that on.
And the 25 seconds or 35 second shot clock doesn't really help. You know, you doubt yourself a little bit. You know, normally I would put a little inside on this shot, but then you have to come with the shot right away.
Yeah. He's going to make the combination. 7-9 here. Quick fix for a 3-2 lead. He makes it 3 games to 2. Ralf Souquet leading Niels Feijen. And what do you think of the new Eurotour logo?
Big change, David.
Yeah. Wow, got to spice things up.
Yeah, looks 2022.
Yeah, bring it into the new era. Our young designer out in Croatia, doing a bit of work for us.
Need to come with some cool merchandising.
That's the next step. That's the next step. We have a few things in the pipeline coming along. You'll see some water bottles, believe it or not. So personalized water bottles, because of the plastic, getting rid of plastic today now. So we're going to bring in some bottles. One of our partners has ordered quite a few bottles for the players, so you carry around your own personalized bottle. Save the trees, save plastic. No, they're not made of plastic.
Where are you going to push out to here?
You can't really push out too many places. Niels found a spot. Is he going to be on the bottom rail?
Yeah, it's not easy, especially when the 1 is close to the pocket. It's hard to play a good push. I know Niels likes to jump. That could be one solution.
We've got to make his mind up soon.
Interesting.
I wonder what Ralf will make of that leave. I think he'll be giving it back. Yeah.
Wonder what Niels had in mind here.
Got to put a little bit of reverse English or play this with pace if he wants that angle.
I mean, anything can happen here, but I don't think the odds are in his favor. Let's see.
And he's left that for Ralf.
I wonder if he can hold the cue ball here. I know Ralf likes to slow roll balls in, but he has to put a lot of inside to avoid running into the pink 4. But can he hit it?
Can he
and
get
hold it for the 2?
through,
Or maybe for the side pocket?
get it through the 4 and 9? And he's good.
Too soft, actually. Wow.
Yeah. Because he does need to be over the left of the table, or as much of the left as possible for that 3. You see there's not a lot of angle there. And that cue ball will be travelling over towards the orange 5. Doesn't want it to go too far. Oh, that's a super shot.
Yeah, he knows he's going to run into the 7, and then
Yeah.
the angle for the 4 might not be ideal.
Do you force the issue here a little bit, play it with a bit more pace and a bit more top on the ball? So you pot the 3 and kick the 7 out the way?
Yeah, he's going to hit the 7 pretty full, which, yeah, if he could have just nipped the 7, then he would have been a bit straighter on the 4. Now he has a little bit of a cut.
Just wants to let the cue ball travel through here. He will get a natural angle for the 5. Very important rack this for Ralf Souquet. In front 3 games to 2. Niels broke this rack, so if Ralf can steal it, there'll be 2 racks up and breaking. And Niels knows that.
Yeah, I still don't understand the decision Niels made in the beginning to push into that safety, that kick safety.
Yeah, I think he was thinking too long and time was running out,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he had to make a quick decision. And maybe in between decisions, and yeah, just had to play the shot quick.
Am I mistaken, or is every match that is shown on the TV table live on Facebook?
Yes, we have put every match that we have done feature on Facebook, as well as Kozoom
Nice.
YouTube and the Kozoom Linear TV channel, which is free to watch for everyone, so you don't need an account with any company, you know, just an internet. So if you don't have accounts, or anyone that you know don't have any accounts, and you want to watch these live matches, then go to tv.kozoom.com. No payment necessary for these live matches, and you'll be able to see the finals there tomorrow if you are not in one of the countries where there is the live broadcast on the TV. So in those countries, 10 countries, will be showing the live broadcast tomorrow, and they will have their own commentary.
That's for the final?
Semi-finals and final. So from 4 o'clock we go live in Austria with ORF, Poland with TVP Sport, and in the Balkans and Greece and Bulgaria on Sport Club TV. And for English commentary, we'll be here on tv.kozoom.com. As Ralf breaks off rack number 7. Look at the 2 ball hanging in that bottom pocket, and the 6 is in the way. 1 ball down, 2 ball defying gravity.
Yeah, I wonder if he is going to swerve around the 6. The jump.
looking at the jump.
I think the jump is very doable. He just can't reach it the way he wants to.
Yeah, not comfortable. He's there. He's going. Oh, great. Well done, Ralf.
Where's the cue ball ending?
Hold up, hold up. Oh, I think he can see that. He's got a cut of it. And a good thing is, you don't have to do anything with a cue ball here. If he can see enough of that 3, roll it in. Cue ball will be back out because the 4 is waiting for the middle pocket.
Thin cut, cue ball on the rail.
Oh,
Ralf.
Ralf. That was just a lack of concentration.
Yeah, you can't almost overcut this, so you always aim a little thinner. You know you're going to catch this full, normally. There's a big point here.
He knows that was a big opportunity.
I feel you, Ralf.
It's not over yet. Niels has got to do some work here. But I'd rather be at the table than in the chair. Niels looking to take the 6 to the corner, get in position to swing the cue ball over to where about his hand is there, or elbow. He'll leave himself an angle on this 6.
Yeah, perfect angle. Just float over for the 7. Same pocket. David, now that I see Niels and his sponsor Longoni, tell me about the Longoni League. How came that to life? I mean, I was part of it earlier this week, playing with Joshua first match.
That's a new initiative. We were approached by Longoni wishing to do something, and that event has been in the locker room for a little while. So we brought it out, and basically Longoni wanted Italy into an event, of course, because being a prominent Italian company, and so we took 11 highest ranked nations based on the individual players from the Eurotour ranking. So for example, Francisco Sanchez #1, so Spain are in there, and that's how that is. And from then on, the 2 highest ranked players from the countries that are represented will make the team. And because the players can change depending on your rankings, each player that is involved wins 1 share of the prize money. So, you know, each time that you're playing, you might be in that week, the next one you're not, and so on and so on. It's 12,000 euros in prize money to be shared around. So for the winning team, you're going to pick up 4,500 for playing 4 matches. And if you're top of the rankings there and you play 50% of them, you pick up 50% of that prize. As we watch Niels Feijen breaking off in rack 8. Made a ball off the break. A couple have been in and out of the kitchen.
Looks a disappointed here. The 2 ball not staying in front of the side pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, so you played with Joshua here at this event in the Longoni 9-ball league.
And since I departed early, there's a good chance, depending on how Ralph's doing, that he will overtake me in the rankings.
Yes.
But the next Eurotour, we won't be playing.
No. So,
So,
you have two
so I have a
Eurotours.
chance to catch up again.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool because there are some countries there. Italy, for example, they are playing in Italy. They come into the phase in Italy because they were in Group 3 or Pot 3. And Candela, Petroni and Correri are all within 125 points of each other. So this event here will determine which of the three, two of the three, will play in the Italian team. And the Polish. There are 5 of those players all around each other. This time it was Wojciech Szewczak and Zielinski. But Babica is right behind. So it could be Babica in there. And that's why each player just wins a share. And the better your team does, you played the first game, but if you root for Joshua and Ralph and everyone, they win it and you only play one game, you win 1 share of that prize money. So at the moment for each group stage, you win 300 euros. But as it progresses, it goes up and up and up. So you get the chance to share that prize money with your compatriots.
And how did you choose the rules? Because every single Scotch doubles event that I've ever played, you get the choice after the break, like which player you're going to send out. But here, it was a continuous alternate shot.
Yeah, it's basically every approach to the table is a shot, and it's alternate breaker. And that's the most important, because we don't want that the same player is always breaking. I mean, it can happen that way if you put the 9 ball, next one on, and so on and so on. But we wanted alternate breaker, so both players have to break in the match.
That's what we play everywhere?
Yep. And it's just alternate turns. Every visit to the table is a shot. So if you go there and say, push out, play it, your teammate has to play that if given it back. So you don't. That's your shot done. So every visit to the table is a shot. Very easy to control as well.
Harder for the referee to remember.
They're doing all right.
Oh wow, nice hit here.
But hasn't got away with it. It's left Niels chance on the 2.
Ralph still dwelling on the missed shot in the previous rack.
Yeah. He's still playing on his mind. Had a good chance to go 5-2 up. And the way it's looking, this match could be all square at 4-4.
Well done.
Just wants to make sure he's, as we look at it, the lower side of that 6. So this side of the table. That's perfect. Drop this in. He's on to the 7. 8 and 9 are nicely waiting. These 3 balls for Niels Feijen to tie the match up at 4 apiece. It's a race to 9 for a place in the last 16.
Yeah, Niels is one of those players when the opponent makes an unforced error, he's there like an animal, you know, ready to kill and take advantage of the opportunity.
Four. And this match now becomes a race to 5. Niels Feijen, Ralf Souquet. 2 formidable players. And one of them has to leave us. having a quick look on one of the platforms that we are streaming on the chat there, and Mike Desmours just popped in and getting his players mixed up. Asked about Oliver and Niels, but it's Ralf and Niels. Mike's a regular over on the chat. Always positive. As we watch Ralf breaking off in rack number 9. All square at 4 each. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I caught that one a little thin.
But look, 3 balls made off the break. And I think he's snookered himself on the 2. Well, has been snookered. I mean, that's the break. Hasn't snookered himself, but
It seems to me always the issue on the break. I know that if I catch the one thinner, I have a very high chance of making that corner ball, but at the same time, the cue ball is going forward, and the 1 is definitely coming back up table. Might go on the side, and you have to look for the 2. If you want to control the cue ball, you might catch it too full, then the wing ball has a lower percentage going in.
there is a lot of examples of the way players have broke. Well, Ralf just trying to free up with a 9. I'm not sure if that's completely tied up. But yeah, so some of the breaks, when you look at the wing ball going into the corner pocket, there seems to be a bit of a traffic jam depending on where you hit that front 1 ball, because it seems like 2 or 3 balls all trying to get in the pocket at the same time. But certain points of it, if you hit it on the sweet spot, that corner ball flies in. But as soon as you just a few millimeters either side of the sweet spot, you have a traffic jam, and you've seen that a lot on this table.
I've had a little bit of body movement here. Caught it just a little bit too thin. Knowing that even if he leaves the 2, there's no shot on the 3, maybe a safety.
I think there, yeah, from that position, Niels probably kill the cue ball or draw it a little bit and then send the 3 round the table and leave the cue ball behind the 9.
There is, of course, the cross bank.
But is the reward not to put your opponent in trouble here? Just let not a draw shot, but a stun shot with a little bit of leeway. So the cue ball just falls behind the 9, sends a 3 round the table. Obviously at that angle, if you hit it hard enough, you could be snookered yourself if the 3 drops somewhere.
If he plays the... Oh, he's queuing high,
Yeah.
so it looks like,
Yeah, it looks like
crossing
he's
it.
crossing.
Yeah, I like the choice, because if he goes for the safety, he really has to park the cue ball behind the 9, because the 3 is going 3 rails towards the corner pocket.
Yeah.
Where the cross bank, if he doesn't make it, then he will separate the balls.
Yeah,
So
and
I like
obviously
this choice.
distance there as well, which is always good. He can make this off of the 6 as well, you know. He did. And look, is he? Oh, wow. Now that is cruel.
That stings.
That is cruel. Played a great shot there on that 3, using a 6. He was quite straight. And that's his reward. Very, very cruel.
It looks like a classic hit and hope now. the 6 ball going?
Not quite. Oh, Niels looking.
There's
room.
He's got the pocket, yeah.
Yeah, there's room.
It all depends where he can get the cue ball. If he has a natural angle on the 6, makes it easier. But if you have to try and force the cue ball into position for the 8, that makes that 9 ball much bigger.
There's not a lot of room for error there, but the 6 does go past the 9. If it does so much as kiss that 9 on the way, that 6 is not going to go. Perfectly in there, used the outside of the pocket. This 9 ball give Niels Feijen the lead in this match.
Yeah, what could have been a 5-2 for Ralf is now 5-4 for Niels.
Yeah, amazing turnaround. This does. It can happen. Ralf should have been 5-2 up, yeah. And now finds himself 5-4 down. Also, not good for Ralf. Niels is up next breaking. So Ralf has lost the advantage of the break.
So Ralf placed the 2 ball strategically, or should I say randomly, the 2 ball in there behind the 9. Let's see where the 2 ends up. I think that's always a problem with when you say random. You know, you always, I mean, you know, I look at the balls and unless I close my eyes, you know, I see where I put them and, you know, you try to mix them up. Some players don't. They always put them in the same spot.
Yeah. It is.
It's an awkward rule, but, you know, how can you make it better?
Not without referees at each table. That's the only way. Oh, Niels.
Goodness.
Big mistake there.
He decelerated and misjudged the action on the cue ball.
Yeah. Surprise. I expected that one to go. But hasn't done too much damage, but he should be still at the table.
I think we're going to see a kick and stick here.
Come behind that 1 ball, send it down table.
Could be aggressive and trying to hold the cue ball on the 6.
So would you go rail first here or play the 1 first, Thorsten? Well, Niels looks like he's going for the pot.
Well done.
Yeah, like you said, held on with a 6.
Niels is tall, but not tall enough.
Didn't fancy putting his extension on either and stretching, so
to the outside.
Don't know if that 4 goes past the 5 to the corner. I think it does. I've just got to get out to the middle, where his hand is now resting.
It's a good example. Ralf made that one mistake a few racks ago, and then everything has been going against him since.
Yes.
Even when he made that great kiss shot, and the ball ended up in between.
Yeah. It's yeah, when lady luck deserts you, it just goes. But it comes back again, though. Not for everyone, but it's when it's there, you got to take it, because it ain't always there. We all need luck. All need a little bit of roll on our side.
Letting a stroke out here.
He could afford to do that with the 8 ball sitting right next to the center pocket.
Has a nice bounce in his step.
Yeah, Niels Feijen in the lead, 6 games to 4, race to 9 for a place in tomorrow morning's last 16. Just seeing there a miss from Niels Feijen. Again, making amends. Ralf Souquet breaking off, rack number 11, trailing Niels Feijen, 6 games to 4. That's a good break. This time, Ralf has a shot on the 1, 7 ball hanging in the pocket there.
Yeah, can't afford to make any more mistakes now.
He needs to run these balls, get his mojo back. He's lost a bit of confidence with a few of the mistakes, not getting the roll of the table.
Trying to make both here, really.
And he did.
Yeah, that's an ugly shot if you have the ball very deep in the pocket and then you can't use natural roll on cue ball to get back out. You have to draw it rail first. Still a little bit of an awkward angle on the 4. Know if you can punch it to rails or drawing straight back. Okay, had it more angle than I thought.
Yeah, when the ball, what you were saying, when the ball is really hanging in the pocket there, there's nothing of the cushion that you can use to actually help. So, you know, harder to control. It's basically a draw shot in, you know, uncontrolled circumstances.
But even here, he's not ideal. You know, he wanted to be closer, and even this 6 ball, I mean, he's supposed to make it, but the cue ball is going 2 rails towards the 8, so you know his part of his attention is trying to not hit the 8 from behind. That takes away focus on making the 6, so it's not guaranteed. A little bit of an awkward angle. Lip the 8.
But kept position.
Ralph's keeping it close. On the rail again.
Could have had a little bit extra on that shot. Would have been a little bit more straighter on the 9. Made it a little bit difficult. Ralf should be making these, and he does. Reduces the deficit, pulls one back, now trailing Niels Feijen 6 games to 5. Niels up next, breaking. Just looking a little bit what's happening around the room there. And in the all-Polish affair, Daniel Maciol has eliminated Simon Kural 9 games to 4. That's the only one that has finished yet. Sanchez Ruiz is 8-3 up against North Cyprus's Mustafa Alna. Joshua Filler trailing an Albanian Besar Spahil 5 games to 6. Joshua, a little bit of work there. Spain's Jonas Soto is leading Hungary's Oliver Zolnocki 7 games to 3. Well, we're back in bracket 12.
I hit that absolutely perfect.
Wow. Even the 2 getting a kiss off the 7 hasn't dampened that break.
I think you couldn't have hit it any better. High speed. All the energy onto the rack.
Yeah.
Cue ball back to the center. Always need a little bit of luck here.
You have to spin the cue ball round tight 2 rails here to get into the middle for the 3. Needed a bit more. Yeah, he was pointing to where he wanted.
Yeah, I think he knew it the moment he released it. It was a little bit on the soft side.
Yeah. Now here I see a shot. If he's taking a 3 on, played at top of the cue ball, he might even just nudge the 9 towards the pocket, but go through and get back up for the 4. The angles there, he will be bumping into that 9.
I think those are good shots to practice. You know, we're all good when we have a perfect angle and we can just roll in the ball and, you know, get natural. But if you're off angle, you have to work the cue ball. I think those are the situations everybody should practice.
Yeah, like that. Put shots like that together where you have to do something else other than use the angles. Are those the sort of drills that you and Niels have in your programs? Because I know you do a lot of drills.
You know, I do know a few drills that will isolate the shots that are a little bit awkward. There should be more out there, I think. Oh.
He's all right.
Yeah, I don't know, because the 6 is not really... Oh, I think he's a little off angle. He might be able to just follow and play the 6 in the side or the corner.
I think if the way the angle is there, he's going to be low on that 6, and the 7 is blocking the path to the corner.
Yeah, that's what I figured. No, I thought he was going to go a little further, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to. He was just pointing there. Didn't get the pace. And now he's got a problem. Someone's asking there on one of the platforms who the commentators are, and we have Thorsten Hohmann in here with David Morris.
But let me use this opportunity, actually. Everybody who sends a message to my Facebook and asks me for a drill that will focus on these awkward angles, I'm happy to send them a diagram with an exercise. How about that?
There you go. There's a little challenge for you, or challenge, help. So everyone, send Thorsten Hohmann a message on his Facebook page and he will give you some drills to practice so you can play like a pro. As Niels Feijen extends the lead. Now 7-5 over Ralf Souquet, race to 9. Ralf up next to break, needs a good one, preferably for himself, a break and run.
Yeah, if Ralf loses this, I mean, I've been spending most of my time here with Ralf. You know, we're going to breakfast, lunch. We walk over to the venue together, and if he loses this match, he will all blame it on that one missed shot.
Yeah, earlier, because since then he's really been static. You know, he was in a good zone before that, and since then it's been a struggle.
So this one is really important. Wants to close the gap.
He was in a position where he could have been 5-2 up. So yeah, he will be disappointed for sure. And that's an illegal break.
What's Niels going to do? Give it back?
Well, he has to accept it or give it back. He cannot play a push. Yeah, Ralph's back at the table.
Just saw somebody mentioning Albin. What happened to him? He's not playing?
Yeah, Albin's not playing, no.
Good for us. Well, not for me anyway, but...
Ralf just playing the push.
Interesting.
Yeah. Niels.
He's like, huh?
Yeah,
what did he do? Like me earlier. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, puzzled look on his face, thinking, what's he going to do that?
Is it a two-rail kick? Trying to...
make the 2 into the corner.
No, hit it thin so they separate. Let the cue ball flow towards the 3. Yep.
What a great shot.
Okay, well.
Wow.
He knew what he was doing.
That was planned.
Good time for a comeback, Ralf. Is he gonna play for the combination? Or is he gonna let his stroke out to get on the 4? Oh, combination. It's very easy here for like intermediate advanced players. You get a little sloppy here, catch the 5 on the wrong side, and ends up, and the 4 ends up on the rail.
Yeah, because you got to play this for the angle. Both at the same time. I was just going to say, if you play full on, you got to remember that you play them for the 3rd ball, because both dropping. But I didn't think there was the angle for that sort of shot there. 7 does go past the 9 ball.
You know, I've been teaching a lot in New York. After becoming the new house pro of Amsterdam Billiards, after Tony Robles moved to Florida. And I've had over 100 students in the last year. And, you know, I've been watching lots of my students play in leagues, and I must say, very often it's just a sloppiness. Whether it's just the way you approach the shot, the decision making, the execution, the tip placement. You know, you just got, especially if you're like a beginner, intermediate, advanced player, it's really got to pay respect to all the details of the stroke.
Ralf paying respect to this as he's reduced the deficit now 7 games to 6, trailing the Terminator. Niels up next to break. But I think all of that, there's so many details within playing pool that can affect you, you know, in certain ways. If you don't get everything right, then you're going to have a problem. And I think that's the same. You take golf. I like playing golf, and the chances are your grip is just a couple of millimeters round the wrong way. You start changing it during games too much, and the whole game starts going. So before your game, you've got to get everything right. You know, you can't keep changing it in the scene. You know where this is. You got to be focused and ready for it.
Yeah, we're all humans. We make mistakes, but if you're just sloppy, that's inexcusable. You know, if you don't step into the shot, you just, you know,
okay,
like
yeah.
side swing in it. You rob yourself the chance.
Okay, I see what you mean there. Yeah.
You know, you can always miss. You can always be misaligned, but if you don't give it the respect, then that's your fault.
Right, gotcha.
I always tell my
wow.
students, with a beautiful break again. Can you make the 2 on the side? Yes. I tell my students, if as long as you find your starting position and you align yourself properly, you do your practice strokes and you focus on a clean finish, you can always miss, that's fine. But if you skip any of those steps, then
Right, gotcha.
no excuse.
Okay.
And I think he knew that almost whatever he does, he will have this little awkward angle on the 4. But the 5 goes into the corner past the 7. That could be a big help.
Got to concentrate on the pot for this 4. We'll get some kind of shot on the 5, and like you said, the pockets are open. These 4 balls will put Niels Feijen on the hill. One step closer to the last 16 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and you feel helpless as the opponent. You'll see, you know, Niels breaking so strong, and even if you know he's in the lead, even if you win your game, you know he's going to come with another big break.
Yeah, there's not a lot of weaknesses you can spot in Niels' game. So, you know, when he's on this sort of form, it's hard to see when you're going to really get the break. Niels Feijen on the hill, 8-6. Ralf Souquet breaking next to stay in this match. And this certainly deserves to be a hill thriller. For that to happen, we need a break and run from Ralf, and a little bit of a mistake from Niels.
So as I see from all the live scores, we have 3 Germans among the last 32, and all of them are
behind at the
Behind.
moment. Marco Dorenberg, 7-8 behind Jonas Hansen from Norway. Filler trailing Spahul, 7-6. And here Ralf trailing Niels Feijen, 8-6. Rack 15, Ralf breaking to stay in this match.
He's been hitting the one a little bit too thin the last couple breaks. This one he caught really full, almost too full. That's not really the shot you want.
Not for the first one after the break there. I mean, yeah, you can take the one, knowing the comfort that the cue ball will be bumping into that 5, so keep in position there because of the 3.
See, for me, like, I like to stun balls, and you know, you have the natural angle here on the side, stun, but Ralf, he likes to roll them, so it might be actually in his favor. Well done.
Kept the position for the 3. I think quite straight, and looking at the 7 ball, is only going to roll the 3 in and stay up that end and send the 4 down this bottom, I think. That's the only real shot available to him. That 7 being the blocker. Take this 4 down the rail, he'll be on the 5. Jose Alberto Delgado from Spain has eliminated the Austrian Mario He, 9-6.
After he put me out of the tournament.
So that was one of the Spaniards.
Yes, and he broke really well against me.
He's a decent player. Hasn't got the rewards for his efforts over the years, but he's a decent player. If you remember, I know it's a while back, but I think he is former world champion in the youth.
Oh yeah?
Yep. I think it was him. Same, you have Jonas Soto, world champion. We have a lot of them in the youth from Europe. It's been a pretty decent production line over the years.
I like Jonas. He's been spending quite a bit of time in the States.
Yeah,
so I got to know him a little bit better. From Ibiza, correct?
Yeah, from the island Ibiza, yeah. And we had here earlier in the commentary box with me one of your fellow countrymen, very talented and up and coming, world champion as it is, Moritz Neuhausen.
Oh yeah?
He came in here today.
I know he's nominated to play in the States, but he said he doesn't know if he can get time off from school.
Yeah, he wants to study engineering. Oh, look at the cue ball. It's okay, no pace. But he's snookered Ralf.
But it's exactly what I said in the first rack. Ralf had an open table. He was supposed to be out. You know, yes, he finished with the safety, but
he didn't complete the job.
You see Fedor, Joshua, Francisco, they just run out. They don't finish with the safety. They just run out, and that what makes the difference. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, looks like there's a technical glitch here. I don't know if you can actually still watching the match, or if you can hear me. Trying to fix it. Looks like there's some promotional clip playing on at least Facebook. If you can hear me, Niels is just about to break. Breaking to win the match. Let's see if he can produce another great break like earlier. But another monster break by Niels. Hello, David.
Hi. Just checking a few things there, because we've got a little bit of strange things happening with the program. We are still live with everyone on Kozoom.com, but on our Facebook feed we have a little bit of funny videos going on at the moment. Apologies for that. We're working on it.
Couple big shots here for Niels. I think he's trying to get, yep, playing the 2 and the 3 in the same pocket. If he gets position here, that should be it. Oh, not ideal. Still hope for Ralf. Might be able to draw the cue board off the 6 towards the 5. I don't know if he can draw away from it. Or he can go forward and force the cue ball around 2 rails. It looks like Ralf will have an off day tomorrow with me.
With these 3 balls. Six and 9 to send. Ralf Souquet packing. And Niels will be back here in the morning. And Niels Feijen eliminates Ralf Souquet in a big match here in Lasko, Slovenia. Niels into the last 16. Ralf maybe joins us in the commentary box.